When you're dealing with joint pain, anxiety, depression, insomnia, heart palpitations, fatigue, like a lot of women with breast implant illness are, I know that it's so much harder to stick to any kind of exercise plan or exercise routine. Due to breast implants and the toll that they took on our body, we need a little extra support and an entirely different approach when it comes to fitness and losing weight. Hey, it's Christina, the founder of Size Happy, BII advocate, and the admin of the Facebook group Breast Implant Illness, Rejuvenation, and Education with Christina. In this video, I'm going to talk about nutrition and macros, breast implant illness friendly exercises, the importance of detox when it comes to permanent fat loss, supplements, and so much more. I'm going to be covering a lot in this video, so if you have been hesitant to start anything, or if you have started something but you haven't been seeing the progress that you think you should be having by now, you'll definitely want to take some notes, so go ahead and pause the video now. Go grab a piece of paper and a pencil. You will want to take notes because I will be doing some calculations for you and hopefully helping to tailor some things to you and where you are and your goals and your weight and where you want to be. I have a lot of ground that I want to cover in this video, so let's get to it. All right, so I'm going to be referring to my notes. I took a ton of notes and did a ton of research before this video to get an idea and a flow of where I wanted things to go and kind of jot down some bullet points of things that I wanted to talk about. So I'm going to be talking some diet recommendations, a little bit about hormones and thyroid, tips to reduce bloating and inflammation, detox supplements, and BII friendly exercises. So I'm going to be referring over here a lot. So don't mind me. Everything's going to be super valuable though. There's a lot to get to and there's no way I could have memorized all of this. So just bear with me. So the first thing that I definitely wanted to mention is where I personally see a lot of women go wrong is that they're either eating way too few calories, they're not eating enough protein, they're maybe doing too much, or they're doing too little. A lot of women are opting for like the vegan diet and they're cutting out gluten and dairy and sugar, which is great because those are inflammatory foods, you know, especially sugar. It's a immune suppressing food, not food, but ingredient, so to say, chemical, whatever you want to call it. So I see a lot of women, especially who have breast implant illness now or who are trying to get in better shape after explanting. They're kind of maybe doing a little too much, doing not enough, or they're just maybe going to extremes and removing things that they don't really need to remove. Like you don't really need to remove gluten if you don't have celiac, and you don't really need to entirely remove sugar if you're not like borderline diabetic. You don't need to remove dairy if you're not lactose intolerant. So, you know, I exercise 4 to 5 days a week. I lift weights, do very minimal cardio, but I eat gluten, dairy, sugar, all that from time to time. I personally have suffered with eating disorders in the past, so I have to be very careful when it comes to following a diet or certain people or accounts that I follow, because I can tend to go very extreme and very rigid, not give myself too much wiggle room. So there's always like that delicate balance of taking the advice, but also not going so extreme and finding that middle ground where you can follow something that is realistic and sustainable and something where you can follow it for probably your entire life and it wouldn't harm your hormones or your metabolism or your health, which is my approach to things when it comes to fitness and nutrition and exercising, is to create a very realistic, sustainable approach that is healthy and balanced, where you feel like you have wiggle room and you can do things and eat things without feeling like so restricted and guilty and fearful of food, so to say. So that would be where I see a lot of women go wrong when I first take a look at, okay, well, what are you doing? How are you eating? Are you exercising? And I'm like, whoa, you need to slow down here, with all the cardio, or, ooh, you need to eat a little bit more. So if you would like me to look at anything that you're doing, I'm more than happy to. You can just email me at christina@sizehappy.net, put in like YouTube video on nutrition, and then I'll know like you're coming to me from this video, and just, you know, ask me questions. We can explore things. This is what I do. Before I got into the breast implant illness space, I was a fitness coach online. So since I was 15, always into fitness and nutrition, self-taught, did my own thing. When I was in my 20s, I joined a gym, and I started to see progress and feel really good and look really good. And a lot of my girlfriends would always come to me and be like, hey, what are you doing? You know, how can I do this? You know, is this good to eat? And so I thought, I should just become like a personal trainer and actually get paid for this. So when I was 25, I became a personal trainer. I got my personal training certification through NASM, which is one of the like top certifications you can have as a personal trainer. It's like what all the gyms require you to have before they hire you. So fitness, nutrition, my life. And then I got into the breast implant illness space after I had like my own miraculous transformation after I removed my breast implants, and I just started to feel so good. And I couldn't not tell women, like, oh my gosh, like this is real. I feel amazing. You know, I had a lot of women that were coming to me, asking me questions. And so I just kind of like naturally transitioned into the breast implant illness space and helping women like you, which was a woman like me. So I have that very unique qualification with having the knowledge, you know, it takes to get you in shape and get you really healthy. But I also have like the real world experience of going through breast implant illness and an explant surgery, and just the mental and emotional and physical, I don't want to say toll, but you know, all of that we go through when we go through that. And there's not a lot of women in the world that can relate to us. So, you know, all of that, I kind of got off topic, but just kind of wanted to let you know, I've been doing this for a very long time. I can kind of pinpoint where someone is going wrong, or maybe just needs a little bit of an adjustment or a little bit of tweaking here and there. And believe it or not, actually less ends up being more. So a lot of women think like more cardio will do it, or less food will do it. And it's actually like the complete opposite. It's actually like more food will do it and less cardio will do it. And so we'll kind of get into that into this video. So make sure you have your notes, because we're going to get into it. All right, so in this video, I'm not going to be telling you like what to eat, what foods to eat, but I will be going over macros and what they are, the amount of protein that you need depending on your goals, and when to eat the bulk of your carbs. So I'm a huge fan of carb cycling, which I will talk about in a second. Okay, so first things first is, what is your weight? So you're going to take your weight. Let's just go with 120 pounds. Okay, so we're going to go with 120 pounds. So if you're wanting to tone up and gain some muscle, even lose weight, the golden rule is to consume 1 gram of protein per pound that you weigh. So every day you'll want to aim for 120 grams of protein if you weigh 120 pounds, okay? And so you're going to divide that up into your meals. So typically what I would do is like 20 for breakfast, 30 for lunch, 30 for dinner. So what is that? 30, 60, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. Yeah, so that would make sense. So then we would do 20 for a snack and like 20 post workout. I always have explanting on my mind. So it would be like 20 grams of protein for breakfast, 20 grams of protein for your before lunch snack, like in between breakfast and lunch, 30 grams of protein at lunch, 20 grams of protein for your post workout, and then 30 grams of protein for your dinner. So let me just add that up again. 30, 60, 80, 100, 120. Yes. So that's how you could easily break up that 120 grams of protein into your day. With all of this being said, because of what I shared with you earlier, I recommend not being strict. If you get 115 in one day and you get 130 in the next day, it's okay. It's fine. You're not going to like ruin anything. I promise you. Again, I know that mindset of like, I have to do everything perfectly, and it makes things harder, makes them less fun. And I'm all about incorporating fun into everything that you're trying to do. So especially when it comes to health and fitness, getting in shape and all that, like do things that are fun, eat in a way that feels fun and feels easy for you. So that's going to be your protein intake. So when it comes to your fats, you're going to have anywhere from 20% to 35% fats every day. So what you're going to do is, let's say you eat 2,000 calories a day, you're going to, like on the low end of your fat days would be 20%, which would be 44 grams of fat. And on your higher fat days, which would be 35% of your calories coming from fats, that would be 77 grams of fats. And again, I will put the BMR calculator down below in the description area so that you can figure out, based upon your height, your weight, your age, and your activity level, how many calories you should be eating every day to achieve your weight loss goal or your muscle building goal. Because I'm muscle building. I'm all about like putting on the muscle, building my curves, building my MERVs, which is muscle and curves, and all of that. Whereas some of you just want to lose some weight, maybe like tone up, have a little bit of muscle tone to you, right? So I'll include the BMR calculator down below. It will spit out, so to say, the calories that you should be having every day based on your goals. Okay, and now let's talk about carb cycling, which is like one of my, I used to be a bikini competitor. And I used to coach women who wanted to go on stage and compete. So carb cycling was like my little secret. It was like my top secret thing. So here's the thing, and again, take some notes. So if you are wanting to lose weight, what I would suggest is having your high carb days be like on your leg days. And typically you would have like 2 leg days, like 2 lower body days. So those would be like your higher carb days. And then all the other days, your other 5 days would be low carb days. Okay. And then if you're wanting to gain muscle and put on some weight, I would always recommend to have high carbs on your workout days, even if you're just doing shoulders or just biceps or just triceps. Anytime you're lifting weights, have your higher carb days. Now, the kicker with carb cycling is when you have your high carb day, that's going to be your low fat day. So that would be the day that you're consuming about 20% of your calories from fats, and vice versa. You would have higher fats, your 35%, on the days that you're doing your lower carb days. And that's basically how you carb cycle. So your proteins are always going to remain the same, but when you're carb cycling, your carbs are going to be high, your fats are going to be low, or your fats are going to be high, your carbs are going to be low. You're not going to have high fats and high carbs, or lower fats and low carbs. So that's how you would do that. Again, if you have any questions on any of this, if you're like, hey, here's the amount of calories that I'm supposed to be eating, how many fats should I be eating, my protein stuff, I can calculate your macros for you pretty easily, pretty fast, no biggie. Just run it by me. I'm happy to help you when it comes to this. And for those of you that don't know, macros literally just stands for proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. That's it. So if you hear somebody say, what's your macros? It's basically like, how much protein, carbs, and fats are you eating every day? Or do you calculate your macros? And it just basically means, do you calculate how much protein, carbs, and fats you eat every day? So macros literally just stands for those macronutrients. And then micronutrients is obviously vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, antioxidants, mostly the things that you get from fruits and vegetables. All right, and then we'll talk about some water intake. So generally the rule of thumb is to consume half of your weight in water. So again, if you weigh 120 pounds, you're going to want to aim for 60 ounces of water every day. Generally, you'll want to drink more water if it's hot outside, if you're pregnant, if you live in a higher elevation, or if you just did a ton of cardio and you sweated a lot that day. Just make sure that you're staying up on your water intake. Again, that's just really good for cleansing and your digestion and, your skin. Like, water is just amazing. So if you want to add a little bit of lemon in it or anything like that, just to kind of spruce it up a little bit, totally fine. Just make sure that you get your water in. And that's really the gist of nutrition and your food. You know, when it comes to snacking, my go-tos are like nuts, Greek yogurts, kefir. I buy a lot of, I don't want to say like packaged things, but like little granolas that they sell at Sprouts, protein shakes, a lot of fruits. I'm very simple. I don't like cooking and stuff like that. So I'm just like, I'm very simple when it comes to snacks. You can buy, you know, protein bars, just be very careful with the ingredients in them and the calories and stuff like that. But when it comes to snacks, just keep it, again, like have a lot of variety, fruits and nuts with some fats, maybe like some avocados or some peanut butter, an apple with peanut butter, something like that would be a really good snack to hold you over until your main meal. And also when it comes to just getting your body back after breast implant illness and after your explant surgery, two things that I would definitely look into, especially if you're having a hard time really losing or gaining weight, are your hormones and your thyroid. I'm not going to get too deep into both of these things. I feel like there's something that you need to run by your doctor and just kind of get your levels checked and see where you are. But I will say that if your hormones are off or if your thyroid is off, those two things can definitely make losing or gaining weight a lot more challenging. So again, there are a lot of supplements out there that can help kind of balance your hormones. Do some research on that and just make sure that they're natural, they're on the organic side of things when you are choosing foods or supplements or anything like that. So that would be something else that I would look into if you are eating right and you're exercising and you're like, you feel like you're doing all the right things, but maybe you're like getting nowhere. So it could be hormones, could be thyroid. And the next thing that I want to talk about is just bloating and inflammation. And I know a lot of women can carry a lot of water weight and just be really bloated, whether it's just from not having the best gut, you know, like your digestive system is all off. I know a lot of women have digestive issues when they're going through breast implant illness and maybe even after their explant and everything like that. So you're definitely going to want to up your water intake, because the more water you drink, the more water your body just naturally sheds. So a lot of fitness competitors, again, they'll up their water intake a ton. And when you're doing that, yes, you will go to the bathroom a lot, but it'll also help to release a lot of water that you are carrying. And if you need to add some lemon or whatever to it, again, totally fine. Consume anti-inflammatory foods like sugars, fried foods, gluten, and dairy. So those inflammatory foods, obviously, again, can cause just a lot of bloating and water retention and stuff like that. So the best that you can do in reducing those foods, the better. Let's see, so digestive enzymes, I would definitely recommend those, and a really good probiotic, because that's just, again, going to help with your digestive system and help flush things out and keep things going, so to say. Supporting your kidneys would be another thing. So there are some natural diuretics out there that can help flush out some extra water weight and retention and inflammation that you are carrying. Dandelion is one of my favorite things. When I was doing fitness competitions and when I was training competitors, I would have them drink a mug of dandelion tea every night, just because it is a natural diuretic and it is very nourishing for your kidneys as well. So it's not like one of those harsh diuretics that I used to take in my 20s, because I just took fat burners and diuretics and did all the wrong things when it came to trying to lose weight. Crazy. Won't get into that. It's not about me today, it's about you. But and then reduce your salt intake, because salt you get very waterlogged, and you just carry a lot of water when you have, when you eat pizza or fries or anything like that, or chips, you can just be very puffy. So reduce your water intake, reduce your salt intake, up your water intake, and then prebiotics, probiotics, digestive enzymes, and then just minimize fried foods, gluten, dairy, sugar, stuff like that. Those things should help reduce your bloating and inflammation on top of doing some cardio and just sweating. Okay, now we're going to talk about detoxing. So toxins love to store in fat cells. So I've come to find that a lot of women who are having a hard time losing weight, even though they're eating really good, it could be because they're still introducing toxins into their body. And maybe not through their food, but through like their household cleaning products and their cosmetics and their hygiene products and just everyday things that they're getting exposed to that have toxins in them. You know, their laundry detergent, their dish soap, and you know, just all of these things that aren't food related that are still bombarding us with toxins every day. And so the first thing you want to do is you want to remove as many toxic things out of your environment as you can. So clean up your hygiene products, your cosmetics, your cleaning products. I don't know if I just said that. Hygiene, cleaning products, and cosmetics. Like, do your best to just clean those things out. And then after that, you can go through like a detox. If you need help with detox, I do have the BII Bridge, the warrior phase. I'll include a link to that below, but it will help with detox, removing toxins and heavy metals safely from your body so that you don't have a retox, which is when you detox, but the toxins don't come out and they just like reabsorb in your body, and it can cause just skin irritations, fatigue, irritability, digestive issues, headaches, all sorts of things. It's not fun. So the first thing I'd recommend is just to do your best to remove as many toxins from your environment and then introduce like a detox of some sorts because they do store in your fat cells. And once you get them out of your fat cells can actually start to shrink and minimize, and you'll start to actually like see some muscle definition and everything like that. And I think a lot of women kind of forget that, and it's not very well talked about in the fitness community. It's just like food and exercise. Nobody really talks about like detoxing and removing, you know, all of that, and especially from your supplements. A lot of personal trainers online, they mean well. They really do. Like, they can get women in amazing shape. But what I've come to find out is a lot of them are recommending toxic garbage supplements and things with like artificial sweeteners in them and dyes and artificial flavors and carrageenan, you know, all just low quality garbage supplements. We don't need that. We deserve better, and our bodies actually deserve better after all that it's been through. So, you know, when it comes to your supplements, definitely research some really high quality ones. I'm actually getting ready to talk about supplements in a second, but I just see that that's where like a lot of fitness trainers who aren't familiar with breast implant illness and women who've gone through it, and like our bodies are different. Like, our hormones are messed up, our adrenals are messed up, you know, we need a detox, you know, all of this stuff. So just make sure when you are opting for supplements that they are very high quality, which brings me into supplements. So weight loss and detox supplements that I recommend, and I'm going to link all of these below, so I won't get too deep into them in this video, but they'll be like down below for you to explore and look into and everything like that. These are all supplements that I take and that I love, and I highly recommend, especially if you're trying to lose weight and detox and flush all those toxins out so that you can lose weight. So there's a company called Zuma Nutrition, and I'll link it down below, but it's called fulvic acid and trace ocean minerals. You just put one dropper into your water for the day, and it helps to bind and eliminate heavy metals, especially from the body. Helps to balance out your hormones and improve your energy levels as well, and replenish minerals that you may have lost from sweat, or just if you're detoxing or you're taking binders, you can lose a lot of vitamins and minerals that way. So these trace ocean minerals and the fulvic acid will actually replenish your vitamins and minerals on top of detoxing and helping with your energy levels and your hormones. It's like just my go-to all around favorite, easy thing to put in my water. Activated charcoal, which is a binder. That's just gonna bind to, actually I have it sitting right here. So that's actually gonna bind to heavy metals and toxins and lock onto them and pull them out of the body. So take some activated charcoal. You want to make sure that with any binder, you're not taking it anywhere near food or supplements because it will bind to those things. And you want to make sure, it's not pulling out all those nutrients and the compounds that might be in your medication or anything like that. So a nice binder would be good. Milk thistle to help support your liver. CLA, which is my go-to. I've been taking that supplement for well over 10 years now, but it helps to preserve your lean muscle tissue and with fat loss. So it's like, to me, it's like the ultimate fitness supplement because, preserves your muscle tissue, but it also helps to shrink your fat cells. So again, that's my go-to. If I was to tell you to have any supplement as far as fitness goes into your routine, it would be CLA. Glutamine, which is really good for also preserving and I think it helps with growing. I don't know about maintaining, but I think it helps with growing muscle as well. I just put a scoopful into my protein shake after I exercise. Easy peasy. That's all I do, and I get in the glutamine. Also a good protein powder, which I'll put the ones that I use below. An adrenal restore supplement to help with your adrenals, especially if you are exercising or if you have the Epstein-Barr virus, because a lot of times when you just go, especially with cardio, you can really tax down your adrenals and you could end up feeling just so much more run down and worse, which is the opposite of what you want to be feeling when you are going through an exercise program. So some kind of adrenal support supplement, a B complex, because again, that just helps with energy and mood. And my go-to, I don't have it up here with me, but I drink an energy drink, and it's not a Monster or a Red Bull or a Rockstar. It's not anything like those. It's called Numa, and it's organic. They get the caffeine from green coffee bean, and then it has adaptogens in it, which are really good for helping you to just maintain your stress. So it has lion's mane in it, ashwagandha. I'm missing something. It has lion mane, ashwagandha. It has something else in it to help with just your adrenals and your stress response and everything like that. But I drink one of those every day before the gym and I'm good to go. It doesn't wire you. I never have a crash. Tastes good. So I'll link that down below. And then there are just some general health supplements that are some staples that I would definitely recommend. So a good green powder, especially if you don't eat enough fruits or vegetables during the day. A probiotic, which I kind of mentioned earlier. A good collagen protein, and some vitamin C. Those are just some staples to have every day just to help with general health and your immune system and keeping you going in that way. And lastly, let's get into some BII friendly exercise and cardio suggestions. So I kind of talked about I was a personal trainer, became a personal trainer when I was 25, which was 13 years ago at this point. I have the background, I have the certifications, but I also have the real world knowledge of going through breast implant illness and just some days just not feeling good, right? You're just fatigued, you have the joint pain, you maybe have depression or anxiety, maybe you have heart palpitations that just make it kind of scary to want to exercise, right? So you got to be really careful while you're waiting to explant and after your explant when it comes to getting into exercise routines. So what I have down here, and we're getting ready to wrap it up. So I know this is a little bit of a longer video, but like I said, I had a lot to cover. So during day 1 to week 4 after your explant, that's the time where you're just going to want to walk daily, a couple times a day, just to help prevent blood clots. Just keep things going, keep things moving. It helps your lymphatic system, everything like that. You don't want to do anything that's bouncy. You don't want to sweat, and get all that on your incisions or anything like that. So day 1 to week 4 after explant, just some light walking. Now after week 4 to about week 6, if you get cleared by your surgeon, so everything here is as long as your surgeon recommends it and says it's okay to do, and in regards to supplements or in regards to getting clear to exercise. So I might have my own recommendations, but always follow what your explant surgeon recommends and suggests that you do, wherever you are on this journey. So this is just general, but most women do get cleared to exercise at that 4-week post-explant mark. So week 4 to week 6, you can do some lower body, some light lower body, some legs, some glutes, you know, things like that, some light stretching, some yoga, maybe just go on a stationary bike or the elliptical, although now that I'm thinking about it, you don't really want to use your arms too much when you're doing the elliptical. And then you can also do like the stairs. Don't want to really move your upper body too much still, like for the first 6 weeks, and just really give everything a nice chance to heal and repair and rebuild after your surgery. Now, after week 6, probably your surgeon will say, okay, you can go ahead and start some upper body exercises. So I do have a couple exercise videos here on YouTube for you to follow. Make sure that you go through the exercise safety video, the stretching video, and then you can do like the actual weightlifting video that I show you. This is the exact exercises that I did after my explant. So, you know, you could do some light upper body, very light weights, you know, slow movements, just to kind of get a feel for things. And then for me personally, I would wait to do any kind of chest exercises, whether it be push-ups or chest press or anything like that, about the 4-month mark. Just to kind of play it safe. You don't want to pull anything or tear anything, or especially if you had a lift or anything like that. I would definitely wait about 4 months to do any kind of chest isolating exercises. Also around the 4-month mark, I would say you could probably start doing some cardio that involves jumping. So like maybe some jumping jacks, maybe some high knees, maybe going on your rebounder, things like that. But I would also run that by your explant surgeon first and be like, hey, I'm 4 months out. You know, can I do this, right? Like, can I start doing this kind of cardio? But up until then, I would probably just keep your cardio just like a treadmill or something where you're not hopping too much. Now, if you need any kind of help and real guidance and a customized meal plan and 6 weeks full of videos, when it comes to getting in shape after your explant, and this is also before your explant too, because I do firmly believe that when you are in really good shape before your explant, it makes your recovery a lot easier and your surgery just a lot easier. I truly do believe that when you're just in good cardiovascular shape and everything like that, everything just becomes so much more easier and can potentially heal faster after your explant. So the 6-week Size Happy Challenge is for both pre-explant and 6 weeks or more post-explant. I'll put a link down to it below, but I created it just for BII women who've explanted. There are videos in there with vocal instructions. Literally, I work alongside with you in each video, so I do the same number of reps with you. We take rests, there's abs in there, there's cardio, there's full body weightlifting. You're all covered in there. I go over nutrition, I go over mindset, there's progress trackers. I mean, it's all there. I'll put the link down to it below. But if you're just needing like a little bit more support, you just kind of want to have somebody work alongside with you who's a little bit more familiar with things, I'm your girl. I can help you, and I actually created a program for that. So look into the Size Happy Challenge. I will put it down below, and that's about it. I mean, I'm hoping that maybe after you've gone through this video, you're like, oh yeah, maybe I was doing this too much, or maybe I was being a little too strict with my diet, or maybe I should recommit and like go a little bit more all in when it comes to exercising, or maybe I wasn't eating enough, whatever it may be. But I hope this video helped maybe give you like that missing puzzle piece of what you could have been doing a little bit more of or a little bit less of when it comes to getting back in shape after breast implant illness. So I will see you on the next video. Thank you so much for spending all this time with me. I know it's been quite some time, but anything I can do to help you after your explant, before your explant, definitely let me know. I'm here for you. It's what I do. It's what I love. And I'll see you on the next video.